Welcome back, noble heroes. We return once again to Garen, where our heroes have headed to dinner and such. Thank you for coming to join us. We really appreciate it. If you like our content, please give us a like and a subscribe. And remember, do try this at home. So, Jennifer, you leave the office of Annalise. And where do you head next?
June is going to go up to the Citadel.
All right. June, while you are waiting on your coach, you step out into... The weather is certainly overcast. Feels like rain might be coming on. And it is twilight at this point. The sun is going down. You are waiting within the bounds of the school when very suddenly, and rather awkwardly, the back of your dress is going to fly up, revealing your legs and perhaps some small something else.
There's enough layers, it probably wouldn't. But legs, sure.
As you turn, force your skirt down from the sudden breeze, and look over, you're going to see a pompous, overweight man with a duck.
No!
I was about to jokingly say
God!
a duck.
That's what I thought of too, was the duck.
The man is going to suspiciously turn, facing a different direction, whistling to himself.
Finger of death.
Have you ever told us about this?
I think you guys saw it.
No, we
No,
definitely
we
didn't.
didn't.
See it.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
I thought you said something about...
I'm pretty sure you told us about this.
Yeah,
at
I
one
did
point.
tell
you
you.
did. You
Yeah.
mentioned something about a duck.
Because I was mad about it.
She's
And you
looking
mentioned
directly
guy
at the
is a
duck.
Yeah.
You said that he was a duck, right?
Yeah, I said that the human was like a homunculi to take your attention away from the real
Yes.
creeper.
And then he's a creeper for sure. Yeah. Destroy him.
She looks at him and her face just goes deadpan.
Both of them are going to turn, and the duck begins to waddle away. The human also sort of with a sly, like, kind of escaping.
Hold it. We're on campus, right?
Yes. The man is going to turn around with a sort of
I'm
daring
not an idiot.
expression.
I know that's homunculus.
The duck, who was still like walking away swiftly with a quick waddle, is going to like rot and like freeze mid waddle, and then like slowly turn towards you. And then both of them scamper.
What is... Let's see, hang on.
So
What level is hold person? Is it 2?
level 2.
Please let me show up. Me and Krongor were going back to check the mail. Please let me show up.
You're
back
going
is
to the
to me, correct?
Citadel. She's at the school.
Back is to me?
Yeah.
Can't see me?
For all intents and purposes.
Hold person.
Okay. And it is a dex check.
It's an excellent question. I don't have the answer to it this second.
I got
Does
it.
them not looking at you make a difference for that spell?
No.
Line of sight, doesn't it?
Oh.
They
No,
can't counterspell.
that's-
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That's my first thing. Is
Okay, it's a wisdom save. What's your saving throw? Ooh. All right. Well, they roll a 19, so they succeed.
Oh, do they now? Reroll that.
For what?
Can't I do the silvery barbs?
Oh, you're going to use silvery bars as a reaction?
Can't I?
I think so.
That's a
Attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Yes, you can. And I assume you choose yourself for its secondary action?
Of course I do.
Okay. As you suddenly weave a like a silvery knot in the air in response to the magic sort of dwindling, It's going to surge back forward for a second.
Wait, hold on. I have a question. If they save on my DC, they succeed?
They rolled a 19, so they got like a 23.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you said it wasn't.
21 as the second.
Mine is a 19.
Okay. The dastards are going to sweep away into the night, honking all the way.
No!
Can you hire Roland's sisters to...
Go get that duck.
Can I use a wish now?
To do what?
Just start burning through them until you get this guy.
This is the real quest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hidden objective.
I just want to hold him in place.
Okay.
What type of spell? Like, how do you wish points would that be?
However much the spell.
Basically, I just want to, like, lift him up. Oh, yes.
You want to use what? Levitate?
Can I just use telekinesis on him?
Telekinesis is
My
very
le-
high level, isn't it?
Not mine.
Yours isn't strong enough to lift this guy. Telekinesis is 5th
How much
level.
does he weigh? He's less than 50 pounds,
His
right?
bones are
Oh, the
hollow.
duck?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to lift the duck?
Yeah, I don't care about the homunculus. I want
Whose
the duck.
stats were you using for the saving throw?
The duck.
The human or the duck?
Well, she can't hold person a duck. It's
Yes,
not a
you can.
person.
It is a person.
No, it's
It's
a
a
humanoid. Whole
Oh.
person only works on humanoids.
So you were using hold creature then?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was using hold creature then.
You don't have hold monster.
What level is that?
There's spells she doesn't have.
4th or 6th.
Oh, see, it's been a while.
I'm shocked. Like,
Hold
look at that
monster is
stat.
5th level.
Oh, okay. I thought hold person was a.
I thought you
Like,
were relying on
person.
it losing its homunculus that it would stop. Like, it won't continue without it kind of thought.
Oh no. Okay, well then that was a miscommunication on all of our.
All right, well, it didn't work anyway.
Okay.
Um,
No, I wasn't trying to stop the person. I was trying to stop the duck. I did not realize that it wouldn't work on him. June would have.
okay, so what do you want to use your fairy power to lift it up?
Yes.
Okay, this is the last chance you get before they scatter.
Okay.
Okay. So what is your spell save DC -2?
17.
17? Okay.
'Cause I'm currently using my.
So as you whip out your rod and point it towards the duck, his little feet are gonna like as he starts to leave the ground. He is honking and flapping madly all of a sudden. Okay.
She's mostly concerned about the fact that he's on campus and just got through.
He begins to start to like fly, and you flip him upside down, and he just flies directly into the ground and goes "Rrr," and like falls and just sort of flattens out on the ground, wing spread. The homunculus is gonna like and stop moving and just kind of falls over like the straw man.
She just pushes it, so it flops.
You run over in that direction
Yes.
because you're now like 2 movements away from them.
Yes.
Okay. You rush over in that direction.
She's gonna actually, while she's walking, bump, bump, up and down twice just to keep him active.
The goose duck is like bounced on his head, and he sounds like you're squeaking a bike horn.
Are there no guards or anything around?
There are, yeah, they're on patrol.
She goes, she's going to call out to the patrol or signal for the patrol.
You see in the small bit of mist that's come on since twilight, down about maybe 35 yards from you, on a walk path, you see 2 guards, and they're going to like look through the mist and then rush over in this direction. And you will see that they are also preparing magic.
She remembers that he attacked you, which is why she's doing
Okay.
this.
So as you're bonking the duck up and down, you're gonna suddenly see him like and like open up his eyes, and he's quack, and the 2 of them are gonna teleport.
Can't teleport. Whatever.
You're not doing this because you flipped your skirt up?
No.
Does June just like not care that he did that?
Not particularly. She finds it annoying, but no,
Okay.
the reason she's doing it is because she knows this is the creature that attacked you. She remembered that you mentioned he did that, and that he's randomly on campus.
'Cause he could-
And there are actual security measures to make sure that people who are not supposed to be on campus aren't on campus.
that's
That's the
alarming.
reason why I'm curious about the teleportation thing.
And he could harass students, just random students. on
That's
campus.
true. Gotta protect the kiddos.
As you watch them teleport out, you look.
Counterspell?
Okay, yeah.
Not today, Duck.
All right. It is a 7th level spell, so I need a DC 17 intelligence saving check.
Okay, here. Have an inspiration.
Okay.
I don't like him. I don't trust him.
Agreed.
Wait, what is it? 17 you said?
Mm-hmm.
I rolled an 18, so I ought to get that one. 23.
Counterspell your counterspell.
It's every wizard duel.
All right, what are my guards doing? They're totally within range by now.
30 yards? That's too far. It's 60 feet.
Wait, they can't. Can they counterspell a counterspell if they've already done something? Wait, I suppose they can because I did that. Okay.
As you look down at the spot, both gone now, you will see a mark left on the ground specifically for you. It is a duck's wing with one feather up.
How many points would it cost to trace the location with worms?
Three.
Do it.
Oh my god.
I'm not even okay. You don't understand now. This is to the point where they have enough power to get out of the wardings that are on the academy, which are significant.
Well, they got in, and they can also get out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now she's
is like a
legitimately concerned. This is
serious
now
threat.
this is now a security issue.
Yeah.
It's not just a petty thing. Where did they go?
As you bend down, you are going to touch along the surface of this imprinted wing mark. Clearly some kind of arcane mark left specifically when a specialized teleport spell is cast. As you touch it, you're going to, your eyes kind of flutter, and you see the bar district in Girin.
How close is that to where I am?
About an hour.
How close is that to the white boar?
Very close.
I got the coin back. She would have gotten the coin back from Hero.
Saber's bad idea.
10?
You got it.
Okay. So, she's going to send a quick message to the white boar. And she's going to...
Apprehend that duck.
Yes,
All
actually.
right.
She's going to gives a quick description of the duck, the homunculus, tells that they're a strong magic user, and that they are powerful enough to infiltrate the academy.
Okay.
And they attacked Isaac before.
Who'd you send that to?
Probably. The proprietor of the White Boar, and she would tell Harper or any of his crew that's there, or a powerful adventurer.
Or just announce it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to roll 4 dice. These represent Faylene, Harper, Red, and Opt.
Hey,
One of them-
we know Harper, Fudge Knuckles. Red went drinking, and he
Yeah.
prefers to drink at the White Boar.
Yeah.
One of them must roll above a 13 to catch the duck.
All right, I believe in you guys.
If only
All right, here we go.
I could sick my crew on them.
I think he might destroy you. Oh, that's the point.
Are you kidding me? Come on, guys. Wow, this duck is ridiculous. You know what? I'm not making fun of Isaac anymore about the stupid duck.
All right.
Can we just scrap the main quest and have this be the goal, is to get this
As
done?
you head to the Citadel, Kajrat is going to appear outside of your coach and like knock quickly on your door.
What's her?
The duck escaped into the Chateau Realm.
What?
Ooh. What is this thing?
Okay, if the duck escaped into the
She
Shadow
says
Realm, that's-
his homunculus became an aerodynamic boat-like creature, and then they zoomed away like a rocket.
Thank you.
By important reports, the duck had a tiny pirate hat.
I'm guessing the duck just was being a dick, but I'll keep that in mind. Okay.
All right. Mission failure, she says. And then, shall I send anything else?
Did they say anything?
Red wanted you to know. She takes out a note.
Oh, good. I was gonna say, I was like, you remember?
I kicked it.
She just nods. Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
She's actually. She goes, wait, actually. And she's going to send a note to each of you guys saying that that duck creature that attacked Isaac is currently in Garen, and it is more powerful than we thought.
You get an instant letter in response saying, give me the exact coordinates of where it was and where it went.
She then will respond that it escaped into the Shadow Realm from the Bar District.
Okay. Isaac tells all of his crew that they will all get a handsome reward. And he tells them that if they sneak up behind it, seal its beak, don't let it, if it tries to escape, just kill it. But if you get it alive, it's an even bigger bounty.
She does warn you that, again, it is more powerful than we think, that especially since it escaped into the Shadow Realm and it somehow managed to infiltrate the Academy.
Yuffie would probably just send back, where is this thing exactly and can we track it?
You receive a letter from Kajrat at the house of Leslie Lightwarden.
She did mention that it had a pirate hat. But she
I
doesn't-
actually did not hear that earlier.
Yeah. She says, it was wearing a tiny pirate hat. Whether or not that is, relevant, I'm not sure,
The
but
duck
I
does?
thought I'd let you know.
The duck was wearing a pirate hat?
Yes.
So by description, it hopped into the Shadow Realm, and then the arms of the homunculus changed into giant wings, and then it put on a tiny pirate hat and then laughed, cackling, honking wise.
Yes,
as
she's
it rode off into
guessing
the-
it's just being, a prat. But
Okay.
just so you're aware, in case you happen to know something that I don't,
Euphemia
Let me
will
know.
read this and look to Bali and be like, do you know of any duck pirates?
She's gonna.
oh my god, is there actually a duck pirate
Goose duck, whatever he is.
with a penchant for perversity?
Hang on, I've got to find his name
I mean,
again.
we do
Poultry
know
pilot,
we do
pirate
know
with a
a
penchant for perversity.
bird kind of creature pirate, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, I guess.
All right, his homunculus is Lord Duckingham the Third, and the duck was Drake. Okay, Mary and Carrie are suddenly going to look up. You mean Drake?
Maybe? Who is this? Who is Drake? How do you know him?
He's a goose duck.
Yes.
Yeah, little chap, right? He should be playing cards tonight.
Where?
They're gonna look at you. Have you ever been to the Goat Head? You've not.
I can't remember. Yeah. Should say, no, are the drinks good?
Yes, Mary says. They're very good. What do you think, Leslie? After dinner, maybe head over to the Goat Head? She says. Leslie's gonna like kind of look over at her mom, and her mom's gonna be like, certainly not. That place is disreputable, she says.
Full of pirates, she says.
More like mercenaries, Mary says.
I wouldn't go there if I were
Yeah,
you.
Euphemia gets a look on her face.
Never mind.
I'm not sure how welcome I would be there right now.
Probably not at all, Bolly says. So how do you two know each other again? Leslie's mom is going to ask Amelia of you and Mary.
Oh, how do we know each other? Oh, they attacked me in a dark alley.
Yeah, just really recently, actually. It was like an hour ago.
She broke, actually, half of my face.
Thanks for the cookies, by the way. That's how I was able to help her out.
Yep. Good stuff. Actually, can we get some of those too?
For when your children attack us in the night.
They're not her kids.
Amelia's going to say,
Family.
They're my family.
let me see how many I have. She's going to like go over to the wall and like pull out like a sliding door, and there's just like giant tubs and tins of these cookies, and they appear to be iced. Some of them are like circles, some of them are triangles. They're clearly like hundreds of varieties of these cookies. She's gonna pull up a bin. Okay, I've got 10, so I think I could spare one, she says. She's going to pull it out and bring it over to you guys and hand you a pinwheel of happiness.
Thank you. Do they each have different powers?
Yes, my fate distinguishes my mood at the time of cooking, and so I make them into specific cookie types so that I can separate them. You don't want to accidentally eat the wrong one, she says.
I can imagine. What other types do you have there?
Leslie's going to like, excuse me, she says. It's really good, Mom. You're going to notice that she appears much more bright, certainly more healthy at the moment. She's going to, whatever emotion you might want actively, I've made them for all sorts, she says. But I guess the most useful ones are the ones that I feel healthy, she says. Those are the ones that give you the healing properties.
Do you have any that impart strength?
She thinks about that. I'm sort of zen when I'm cooking, so I don't often feel, strong, she says. But I do have a box of unknowns, she says, as she goes and
I
she
know, it sounds fun.
she's going to like pick up like a tin and sort of like shake it, and it's clear that there's dozens of cookies in this box, and she's gonna like place it down on the table. You guys have like flank steak and like potatoes and like Brussels sprouts in front of you right now. But she's gonna place it down and open up the tin, and there's like broken pieces of cookies. It's clear some of these have been in here for like months. But as you look down, they're like completely mixed up. I don't really sort them because I don't know what they were to begin with.
Are they all different? Or are they parts of, like, pieces of the same one?
Yeah, the second one, she says. They're kind of fun to play with. I used to do them when I was a little kid, Leslie says.
Leslie probably plays like Russian roulette with cookies with this. I would if I were her.
Pick one.
Me? Leslie says.
Yeah.
She's going to like hold up her hands, and you're going to see like sort of a light sort of spread over them. And then a little like beam is going to focus down and spotlight one particular broken half of a cookie. That one, she says.
She puts her hand out.
a little hand of light is going to form, peel down and lift it up and bring it over and set it in your hand. Hey, that was good, Amelia says to Leslie. I'm getting the hang of it again. Nice, nice. And then just Mary and Carrie are just going to stuff their face.
Euphemia looks at it a minute and takes it. She said,
Oh no.
You are struck with overwhelming motherliness.
oh God.
Oh God, you're gonna start crying for not having a little birdie with you.
She's gonna immediately turn to Bali and start like straightening her clothes and like her hair and stuff from where it was ruffled. Does everyone have enough? I don't know if this is enough food, she says to Amelia. Can we have more? Do we
Amelia's...
help?
She's going to like, you don't think it's enough food? Well, come help me real quick, she says.
I wonder if Cleevy's eating enough.
Oh, I know what that cookie was, Leslie says, looking up at you. Mary and Carrie are gonna like... They look confused.
Euphemia's
What
gonna
was it?
grab her necklace and she's gonna just be like, he's not here. I don't know if he's being taken care of right there. What if they're not reading him the right stories? She looks to Bali.
How long is this gonna last? Bali asks, looking around.
She looks at Amelia. Can we make him some cookies?
She's going to come on in. And then like, as you walk in and you're like getting the ingredients out, the cookie's gonna wear off.
Euphemia's gonna look. Am I cooking?
She says, here, I've got everything ready. Amelia looks like she's ready to go.
Oh, poor Amelia.
Euphemia's like, all right, we'll finish this up.
So throughout all of the dinner that they're eating, your flank steak gets cold. You're like... So, how good of a cook would you say Euphemia is?
She's terrible.
Okay, so like she's like having you do measurements, and she's like, okay, 2 3/4 cup of sugar, and you're like looking around, and you're just like randomly like, okay, and that much.
Like she could maybe put together
These are
like
gonna
a
be cookies
stew
of
over a
frustration.
fire, but any kind of baking or anything, nope.
I just don't understand why they didn't come out. Amelia says as she's looking at the cookies in the oven.
Euphemia looks at them and says,
They're already 10 minutes over normal baking.
I understand why they didn't come out.
She goes, what happened?
Me?
She goes,
Maybe I should have had a cookie that imparted culinary ability.
They're confusion cookies.
she's going to like place the, like, they're both somehow like overdone, but still doughy.
Yep. Like half raw and half burnt.
Yeah. She's like, we'll give them a try later, she says towards you.
Try anything once.
You guys kind of look down. Mary and Carrie come in. Oh, cookies. They're just going to like reach out and...
Euphemia smiles. It's like her own little revenge for them breaking both of their faces.
Both of them start to sputter and cough the moment they take a bite. They like spit the cookies out. These are terrible, Amelia, they say, blaming her. She's like, I'm so sorry, girls. I really don't know what happened. Bali's like looking at you in the doorway.
Euphemia will say, well, maybe it's a payback for, beating people up in dark alleys. Yeah, maybe.
So why do you have 2 bounties? Mary says.
I've made some powerful enemies.
She goes, well, we were really after the second one. She
I
says,
think I can guess whose that is.
oh yeah? Who?
You tell me.
We don't know.
How much was it?
20,000.
And the other one?
10.
That's it.
I thought it was like way more than that.
Oh no, the first one's 50. The second one's 80. I lied.
That's less than I thought.
130? For a halfling? They say, looking at each other. That's unheard of.
Should I be honored?
I don't know. Do you consider people hating you honor?
Yes.
Then yeah. Us too, Carrie says.
I'm pretty sure that the second bounty is...
Forgot his name, didn't you?
No, I remember his name. From King Josiah.
No.
Is it not? Wait, no.
Mary's
out of
going
game.
to say no.
Out of game. Who wasn't it from? Was it from Kill Rock or was it? I thought that I had a bounty on my head from.
She says, it's definitely not from Josiah. If they did Josiah's bounties, well, Garen doesn't post those. And we got it here in the city,
Yeah.
Carrie says.
I thought it was Kalrak.
The first one would
Actually,
be
that
from
would
the
make
Isle of
sense.
Bone, from Ronan.
Yeah, I knew that one.
And then the second one would probably be Kilrock.
Okay. She would probably have realized that then.
But Mary and Carrie, after spitting out your cookies and kind of vaguely not caring about where the bounty came from, are going to come forward and kiss Amelia on the face, like both cheeks. And then they're just going to kind of like fall backwards and just into the shadow realm.
That's pretty neat.
So, want to walk us home? Bolly says to Leslie.
Oh,
Please.
Hang on, I'll get solar, she says. She's going to come down like armed with a lantern and a tiny golem made of light.
oh, you guys are staying up in the Citadel, right?
Yes.
Just
Just say,
over to each other.
is there anything we can do about certain bounties that have been posted on members of the group?
She's going to kind of like look over quizzically. I have someone who might be able to help, Leslie says. Have you ever heard of Seraphina Amberfont?
You actually have. He's met me. Yeah, it's me.
As a matter of fact.
Wait,
Did you
they don't know that I was Seraphina, do they? I don't know if I ever actually revealed that.
I feel like last
'Cause-
session you made it a point to say that we did not know.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
you're
then
right.
she
You
would have no
don't.
idea.
You met me before though, as Seraphina, because I was the one who originally went and gave the
Prophecy.
yeah.
Oh, that's where. Okay, she'd say, maybe briefly?
She's an old teacher of mine from the Zartan. She runs the school, actually. We know each other very well.
Euphemia is looking at her now with more and more.
You know her? She's my favorite teacher.
She runs the school, Euphemia says under her breath.
Yeah, older lady, very regal, kind of noble looking.
They've not
Don't-
seen anybody fitting that, have they, while they've been, when they went to
You
school?
saw her only at the very, very beginning when the whole prophecy happened.
Euphemia says, huh, that's strange. I've been to this school a couple times and I haven't met her there.
She's kind of recluse, sort of in and out of the city a lot, she says. Anyway, I think maybe she could help us. She's got a lot of political connections.
Oh, we can use all the help we can get. My crew and I and a few others of the party could really do without the constant attacks from mercenaries for a while we're trying to save the world.
I haven't seen her for about a month and a half, but I bet she's... Well, I'm pretty sure I can get a hold of her, Leslie says.
Thank you.
Come on.
Euphemia will wait a beat and say, do you think Roland's okay?
I know we'll get through it.
He's gonna need you to help him a lot through it, I think.
Well, that's nothing new, she says. Are you all sure you're fully recovered from your injuries?
Your mother's cooking does wonders.
She says, all right, well, let's head up to the Citadel then.
Thanks.
You arrive. Were you going to meet Saul and company?
Yes.
Okay. As you walk in the room, the first time meeting many of these people, you're going to see the bullywog is just like standing there, and he's sort of like in your way, and you kind of like walk up to him, and he just like looks up directly at you as if challenging you to kick him. Do you step around him, or do you just barrel right through him?
Isaac looks down and then asks politely, "Do you know who I am?"
The bullywog is going to...
Would you mind stepping to the side?
He's gonna like, whoop, and like hops to the side.
Thank you.
So,
He gets a
you're
pass
our
because he's a
employer, right? Jace says. Jace the Crabber Johnson.
Oh, man. That I am.
He says, well, good to meet you there, sir. He says, coming up towards you. You see his hand is like scarred up.
Isaac shakes his hand.
All right. He goes, ooh, a little cold out there? You're frigid.
It's a condition.
All right. Whoever that guard was, the halfling ranger, is going to say, Esma. He was slippery, and there was something about him, something we couldn't place our finger on.
He's one you'll want to stay clear of. I know him personally, and he's more dangerous than any of you could handle.
Who is he? The half-orc woman says.
I figured it may be someone of his caliber guarding that crypt, and so that's why I warned you all to keep your distance. And my hunch was right. Have you heard of Red?
You're going to see all of them, like, look at each other suddenly. Even Umraz is like, Saul goes, Red Chaos?
The one and only.
We have knowledge of this one, Prongor says.
What? Prongor said that?
Mm-hmm.
Why does he sound like that?
He sounded like Prongor. We have knowledge of this one,
There we go.
Prongor says. Ash is going to kind of like steeple his fingers in the corner, listening to all the conversations happening.
We
He
will
says,
not be going after him.
I'm not sure it would be wise of us to do so, even if you ordered it, Ash says.
Well, good. You've got a good head on your shoulders then.
Saul says, so he's going to like, and pull out the gem. You're going to see his wife look over at it. This thing's mighty dangerous, she says.
So I've heard. The rest of you, step back. Give me some space.
Everybody sort of like takes a couple steps towards the edge of the room. There was plenty in there, he says. I saw what looked like a weird bag with a face on it, Saul says. Some kind of cape was hanging up, but also at the bottom where there were tatters. But it was like wolf head, or like creeping darkness coming out of it.
Did you see any weapons? Did you see a sword in there?
There was a sword, but I didn't want to touch it. It was held by some kind of skeleton hand coming out of the wall, and it sort of beckoned me to take it. And I know better than to listen to weird skeletons. Also, I think there was a genie lamp.
Do you know? That's valuable information. All right. Well, while I take a look at this, the rest of you, I have a new job. And then
All
I'm
of them
gonna-
sort of like lean in conspiratorially.
Okay. In hushed tones, Isaac gives them their next task of finding the duck.
All right.
And we won't get into that because I already, yeah. But he tells them to do that, and he tells them to go get started and give him, an empty room to work with.
Out of pure curiosity, how do they respond to this very serious
Well, so
order?
the way
This duck.
the way Isaac describes it to them is to be on the lookout for a lecherous, pudgy old man who is harassing women, and he has a pet duck with him. And what I want them to do is capture his extremely dangerous pet duck.
Okay.
And I give them specific instructions on to try and sneak up on him, and if you do, keep his beak shut.
How much does he weigh? The halfling asks.
Less than 50 pounds, I can tell you that, but otherwise I don't know.
The man.
The man, 350 pounds? He's a fat old man. He's harmless. I don't
Says-
care about him.
I need to be able to follow his footsteps, she says.
He
Where was he last seen?
In the bar district.
Let's start there, she says. Hey, all right, good one. Let's go, Saul
Did you-
says.
Wait, no. You're the only one who knows about the card game, so never mind.
I know, and I don't have a messenger coin to like
That's fine.
send a message. I wish there was more than one.
All right.
Me too.
You have in
So-
front of you a uniquely shaped, almost eldritch looking crystal.
Okay. I would have held back the tiefling. And
Alright.
then also with me is Prongor and Phalor.
All right. Esh is sort of like looking down darkly at the object. He seems interested in it. You
All right.
are in need of my expertise, he asks.
I need you here as a sounding board. As the only other one with an inclination for the arcane in the group, you might be useful to me here.
He says, whatever it is, it seems as though it wishes to enter the body of its victim. I can only imagine what damage it could do.
Isaac's gonna activate the staff.
All right. Ash's
kind of-
eyes are going to like widen.
He grabs like Asher's skull by kind of the jaw and like twists it to face him and goes, Asher, what is this gem?
He says, it is a crystal of long dreaming, a very dangerous item, made from excess power drawn from generators in old times.
Generators in old times.
Back during the age of magic, such generators were used to power items of incredible potential, he says. Factories which turned out weapons and armor.
I see.
These crystals were made from the runoff of these machines.
Question 2. What happens if this enters the body?
They are called the long dreaming, Asher says, because if they get into your body, they will disintegrate into your bloodstream, send you into a comatose state.
I see.
He describes it vividly. So, it is a small, luminous crystal that shines from within with an unearthly indigo glow. When contacting a living humanoid, the target must make a DC 16 con save. On a failure, the crystal will sink into the target's flesh and dissolve into their bloodstream. When this happens, they will be embedded with the curse of the long dream. The user will dream every night after contact with the crystal. Whether or not these are nightmares or not can depend on the individual. With each passing night, the perceived length of the user's dreams will seem to increase from months to years to decades and then to centuries. For example, while the user may have only slept for the duration of a long rest, they will experience having a dream that lasts 50 perceived years. As this continues, it will feel to the user that they are really living that length of time they perceive to be in their dreams. And after a month, these dreams will simply cause the user to sleep forever.
So leading up to that, they wake up in the morning,
Yes.
having felt like they went through that period of time. And then at the end of a month, they just don't wake up anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
And modern remove curse spells are unable to remove that curse. It requires something more substantial.
You should stick it on the end of a staff and then use it as an attack.
Third
Special.
question.
I like it.
What would happen if this were picked up by Prongor's mechanical arm or Phalor's skeletal hand?
It must touch flesh in order to dissolve and be triggered,
I see.
Asher says. There is more. A side effect of the curse is that the minds are affected by the long dreaming, but their physical appearance shall change as well. As the dreams continue, the user's body will become thin and sickly, their face becoming gaunt and their skin sallow and lacking color. From here on, they shall physically mutate with large, unblinking blank eyes, cracked skin, their form becoming more and more alien over time. As time goes on, the target will begin to suffer long-term madness. And the user will have one last dream, a dream that is supposed to be eternal. And after a year of sleep, they will crumble into ash.
Okay. Isaac has...
In the wake of their ash will be another crystal of long dreaming.
Oh man, that's badass. Okay.
Give it to Josiah.
And of all the things he could have grabbed and successfully stolen, this is a pretty cool one. Alright, this isn't so bad.
I'm sorry, it's 2 months of time that the curse takes effect. And it requires a greater restoration spell or the touch of an angel to wake from it. Asher seems well versed with the crystals.
Okay. I'm out of questions, otherwise I'd ask him why. Alright. Asher, thank you for your insight.
It is good to see one of them again, he says.
I suppose it's been some time for you.
Sometime.
Phalor is going to reach down and pluck the crystal off the table.
Right.
And then there is a...
Ash is like, but it doesn't sink into the skeleton.
Held between two of his sharpened fingers, there's a compartment in his skull Isaac has made. And he's going to put it in there and shut it.
All right. As you kind of open up the little compartment, he's going to like stick it in it. He places it in and then is going to, with his other hand, like take a binding and like place it to sit inside this part of his skull.
Mm-hmm.
And then you shut the little door.
Okay.
I'm going to make there's like a handle, the horn is the handle, and you pull it down, and there's like the door is like a little square.
Can I pull the horn handle and have it come out of his mouth? Like a gumball machine?
No,
Okay.
because you need to put the crystal to stick inside of there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to rattle around, and he won't be able to stealth.
Right, okay. All right. Well, I'll be honest with you, Brongor, I wasn't sure what would happen when Saul went down into that crypt, but I guess things turned out pretty all right.
Would have been very difficult had this object gotten into Saul.
It would have. He would have slowly gone insane, and we wouldn't have known why.
Well, that is the risk we take.
It is. Remind me, tomorrow, to give him a few extra coin for his efforts.
He says, "That's very generous, Master."
He turns to... I keep saying the tiefling, because I haven't memorized his name yet.
Ash.
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 Esh. Word of this goes to nobody. Surely you understand. Thank you. Isaac will turn and say, Ash, go join the others. And when the night is done, take it easy. I'll be in contact tomorrow.
He merely nods without much emotion and then is going to walk out of the room.
Okay.
All right, you've sent your compatriots to chest the duck.
Oh, yeah, let's roll.
So they get 2 dice instead of 4.
Yep.
So
Significantly less dangerous to the duck than
they need to roll a
Harper's
15 or
crew.
above on one of these dice in order
What do
to
they need to
succeed.
roll?
15 or above. The duck is now out of less. He has less spells than ever.
That's true. He's using up slots. Let's go.
Yes!
No, roll that other one. I want to see if I get a double 20. No, okay.
Wow,
Still pretty
they
good.
were very successful. All right.
Nice. We wore him out for you.
I haven't gotten a 20 in months of this game, and that's the 120 I get.
You know what? Don't argue with it. At least you get one.
Yeah.
Okay. Juniper. The kings are deliberating your request to open up the Forgotten Place. They do. Kodan is apparently has a large portion of control over it. Why do you want this?
The sword has a connection with the staff that Isaac has.
How does he know that the sword is in the Forgotten Place? We do not even know what is inside.
How did we learn that again? It was by the books, right? The biographies?
Is it a journal?
I read some extremely forbidden books, and through details in that biography, I was able to glean. They described tree branches, and then I was like, "Hey June, where do these types of trees grow?" And you're like, "Oh, here," and then that kind of a breadcrumb trail.
Through a fairly drawn out bout of research.
If the sword is inside,
Didn't I recently confirm it too? With Rosaith?
Was
No.
it with Rosaith or with the?
you did not.
Okay.
You know that it has an owner. That's
okay.
it.
Okay, cool. And he wouldn't tell me where it was. Catch it. Okay.
Even if the sword is inside, is your plans to try to use it?
First and foremost, I want to figure out why it is connected to the staff as well as to an artifact I hold.
You would remove it from the Forgotten Place then.
Yes.
It is possible that those who wish it could remember it. That could bring danger upon your group, of a type you have not yet experienced.
While I acknowledge that danger can be problematic, it is something we must get used to.
Boris
And
is going to speak
At
up.
times, it is worthwhile to risk much to gain much.
That sword caused the entire Paladin Order to fall many lifetimes ago.
I'm aware.
Is it wise, then, to put it in the hands of those who are less bound to the light? What guarantees do we have that it will not corrupt you?
Okay, you're gonna hate me for this.
I'm not there.
Well, what if we have Roland hold it for now?
It has already corrupted a paladin of great potential.
Yes, but the difference between a paladin of great potential and Roland is his fate.
I do not like it, Boris says as he kind of crosses his arms. A Manistress is going to speak up. Roland can do as he likes in this time, however. Since he is immune to its corruption, it seems logical that he should be the one to lift up the sword, don't you think? She says towards Boris.
Until we can research it and find out what it is, he would be the safest option to hold it.
A halfling Josrid is going to speak. It seems to me that it is Kodan's final word anyway, he says, looking towards Kodan. Very well. If you believe it will help you in your journey.
I believe it shall. And if not, it can always go back.
He's going to look around. Where is the key again? A Manistress is going to say, one moment. She's going to sweep some words along the armrest of her throne. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is in possession of Red Chaos, she says out loud. He's going to kind of if you are able to find the hero Red Chaos, Apparently, the key was given to him.
Interesting. Very well. Thank you.
All right?
I'll ask Harper.
That would be a good place to start.
Since I'm here, the summit tomorrow, is there anything we should know?
You will receive formal invitations tomorrow. We do request all of the questers' presences. It will be important to showcase you.
Who all has agreed to come?
Currently, we believe that one of the queens of Leonard will be here.
Which one?
We are unsure as of yet. It is in negotiating. We know that I can't believe I forgot her name. The Queen of Bridgewalk.
Estrid?
Estrid?
Queen Estrid will be here. We know that nobody from Selenox has deigned to show up to the meeting, nor from Pendulum. And that is what we currently know.
But Jasia is coming, yes?
We are unsure.
There is a bit of history between some of our group and Jasia. The presence of one of our group members might not be very beneficial if he is present, as I believe she has made a direct play for his life in the past.
You're going to see a surprise.
She would have said they, not she.
We are decently aware of the machinations of the Crowley household.
She goes, hilariously, I'm not actually speaking of Isaac.
And who are you speaking about? The magistress asks.
Euphemia.
The halfling? Boris asks.
Yes.
They're gonna all look at each other like, what is happening? Jasford is going to ask, when did this occur?
How long ago was it?
Before the campaign started, right?
You were 17, right?
So it's been almost been 8 years? 10 years? No, it's been longer.
How old are you?
In her lower to mid 30s. So it's been what?
Almost 15 years?
Yeah, ish.
She goes,
Ish.
I believe around 15 years.
It is quite important that the questers be there to answer any questions concerning their quest. If you truly believe that it would harm relations, she says, I'm afraid there isn't much harm left to be done.
I have extracted a promise for her good behavior, I guess.
We are currently unsure that Jasia will even come. He
I
has
see.
withdrawn his support of the summit only an hour ago. And before that, he gave it the hour before.
Did he give any reason?
He is playing games, Boris says, trying to make it so that it's difficult for us to coordinate.
Sounds like typical Jasia.
You are going to see a magistress will speak again. She says, it has been quite a while, and after 15 years, she might have changed significantly. Is there a chance that he might not recognize her?
Is there?
I'm not sure. so sure how personally important she would be to him. He only saw her for a few moments.
Okay, you would not quite let it to that belief at that point to her.
Yeah, so
She goes,
you wouldn't know probably. You would have no idea.
I'm not sure. It's possible. I don't have all of the specifics on her actions.
Queen Tyrell is going to speak. If it is too much difficulty for her, then tell her that she doesn't have to come. But we may miss her expertise.
I agree. I believe it would be for the best if all were present, however.
And while this meeting might contain Jasiah, it is not for him. It is for our allies.
She nods. Indeed. As soon as you are aware of which queen from...
Alirna,
Thank you. Alirna is arriving. Could you please forward that information?
it is going to depend on Jasiah, Kodan says. It is very likely that Movin will be attending.
Out of game, which one is Movin?
The Fire Queen,
Not the truth one, right?
right?
Okay. That's actually, June is trying really hard to avoid the truth one herself. Especially if Jasiah is present. Mostly, she might actually, be all truthful and shit if Jasiah is not there. But if he's present, there's no way in hell she's giving
Well,
herself
if Jasiah is present, she won't be there.
I know. So, it all happens. She goes, very well. If you could give us that heads up, though, that would be helpful.
It will be contained within the letter tomorrow, Kodan says. Good luck in the Forgotten Place.
Thank you very much.
Do I run into them when they come through?
The Citadel?
Yeah, you're coming.
Because you'd be, yeah. I want to tell you about the card games at that.
I know, I need to know this.
I know.
Also, I want to run into Leslie really bad.
Okay. What are the chances that all three of you would meet at the Citadel?
All three of us?
I mean,
She's
I was.
definitely going back, so.
Is my return to the Citadel delayed at all by that 20 I rolled?
So they are doing work. That's all you know. You don't know.
Okay, alright.
It could take all night. They could take tomorrow. You don't know.
That roll is for the eventual result.
Right.
Whenever that happens. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where I was going after meeting with them, and that's done. So.
So pretty strong.
Yeah.
All right. So all three of you are going to approach from different streets. Surprisingly, at the exact same moment, you come out towards the winding hill that leads up towards the Citadel.
Or down from it.
Yes, or down from it. And all three of you see one another.
Euphemia will look around. Seems like fate.
Indeed.
I have some information on your duck.
You're going to suddenly hear, and you will suddenly see a group, your group, is going to. So they have like a flailing, looks like a drunk duck in the hands
drinking.
of. It's like Saul has got one of the wings, and the other one is gotten by the ranger Esma,
Okay.
the
I
halfling.
was like holding the goose beak.
Yeah, and it's like and like flailing around, and all of them are sort of rushing out from the street towards you, and they're sort of like looking around, but they're gonna come up towards you and then like throw the body of the sort of comatose homuncula down in front of you, and it just like lands on the ground.
Oh, so
Like
they.
at the foot of the Citadel, where there's probably a bunch of guards just sitting there going, "What the hell?"
So they brought the homunculi and the duck
Yes.
and Drake. Okay.
And Leslie's with you.
Okay.
So
All
this
right.
is your duck.
And as the group comes out, you're suddenly gonna see like a giant shadow following them. And suddenly, like, Potjack is there. You want to duck? He says.
Potjack, how did you get in on this?
Well, they come and interrupt a card game. Slipped me a nice coin and I got to duck for them. He says.
See.
That's how they got him.
Saul is like smiling with like one tooth missing. He clearly like he got the cunning this time.
June actually was, as he walked up, she was like, how did they catch him? If Harper, Baleen, and Red couldn't catch this little bastard.
Isaac pulls back his hood and he's like,
And also Potjack.
oh, this is going to be good. And then he goes like this. And then Prongor's going to pull out like a satchel of money and throw it to Saul. And Isaac's going to be like, even between all of you. Good work. And then he's going to turn to
Johnny's
you.
not with you, is she?
No.
Okay, just checking.
He turns to you and he's like, you have 1 hour with this duck. And then I want him back.
What exactly is he? She kind of tilts her head and uses see the heart.
And the only reason I'm even giving him to you is because I'm pretty sure you told me that he got into the academy. So Isaac's like, okay, clearly you need to figure out how he did that.
Can she use see the heart on him?
So you like look over and there's just like this bullywog, like just straight up like sizing up Bolly, like right next to you.
Like in a...
He's like just right next to her.
Like in a
and she's
posturing
like,
kind of way.
Friends
Like-
of yours, Isaac?
Boots on the ground. You understand. And
You're
they
going-
get results.
So I see. Considering Harper's whole crew went after this creature.
you're going to look over the rather motley crew in front of you. You don't recognize any of them.
Hello, Potjack.
Except Potjack. He's gonna go, oh, Jennifer. He goes, what's up with this duck dough? You gonna make some soup?
That's my plan.
June does look at you. You're very handy for this particular situation. Can you tell what this thing is?
Maybe.
How about we go somewhere else?
Valid. She looks over at the guards who are probably giving us extreme side eye right now.
You're suddenly going to hear like giant footsteps, like some kind of monster is coursing through the streets around you.
Is it a
Is it
Rega?
giant?
No, it is not a giant. It's four-legged, and there are claws.
Oh, Jesus.
Like
What's
actual
going on?
monster? Or is it, like a big bear, owlbear? Or something?
It's bigger than a bear.
Okay.
You're going to like hear like a shingle on the roof just like falls off and shatters on the ground. You hear something huge like leap through the air, and you see like giant bat wings spread out, and then just this manticore the size of 2 carts put together is going to just leap down on top of Potjack. And as it does, he's going to go, oh, there she is. Good girl, good girl. Ooh. He's going to like rub its giant mane as its like giant tail filled with like barbs that are the size of long swords are going to like whip around.
Duck. Not that one.
And he's going to, as he stands up from rubbing the creature, he's going to say, "It's my Nancy," he says. Prongor's going to like, "Master, he was talking about this manticore yesterday when he said his Nancy."
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh. Okay.
So he goes, This is my shadow," he says, pointing towards like it's just a hideous, like bucktooth manticore.
And it's huge.
It's very big.
Ponjak, do you usually keep this thing inside of Garen?
He goes, "Well, she's having behavioral issues, wasn't she?" He says, scratching on they're like razor sharp barbs make up its mane, like porcupine quills, and they're just like not hurting Potjack's hand as he rubs on them. He goes, "But now she's all better. Had to take her to an old witch," he says.
Ponjak, if I hired you for a job, would the manticore be thrown in as part of your
Well, I got to get there, don't I? He says.
So I always wondered how you got around.
I thought you usually ran, she says.
No, he usually
Almost never
jumped.
jump. He says, almost never run. He goes, but she gets me across the continent.
She does seem powerful.
He goes, well, if you all's done with the duck and, or get my money, he says, looking down at Saul, then I think we all good here, he says, rubbing his hands together.
I wait and see what Saul does.
Yep.
Saul's going to, like, look down, and then he's going to kind of like, does anybody have any gold bars? He says, looking around. Everyone's going to kind of like turn out their pockets.
Can I roll to see if I have a gold bar in Prongor's backpack?
Sure.
Okay.
Savor's bad idea.
Okay.
If you don't, I got you covered.
Okay. 7.
All right. Prongor's going to like
Rolls
turn
her
around and you're
eyes,
like
goes,
throwing like bones and like, you know,
Vials of
traps, like bear traps out of his backpack.
June rolls her eyes, taps the beetle box, it lands. She just reaches her whole arm in, feels around, and then. There.
Thank you very much.
Whoever you are, you owe me a gold bar. She points it at Saul.
All right. He's gonna like, he kind of like goes up and opens up the bag of money towards you, and you're able to withdraw the funds equivalent.
She just does this, and the correct amount comes out.
Is it like the whole bag, pretty much?
He says, "You must be the lovely Miss Crowley." He says,
Does Isaac hear that?
"Yeah."
Isaac goes, no, she is not.
But they do share a
just goes-
child.
But we do have a son.
We do have a son together.
He's gonna like. He kind of gives you the eyebrows.
June just does this, and it falls into her bag, and then she closes it. It just flies back up and lands.
Saul is gonna like.
All of
right.
you, make yourselves slight now. You're drawing too much attention.
All right. So the whole crew is going to kind of like they sort of look around and like dash off into the streets.
So, in order to cast, it would seem that this goose, duck, whatever, has to be able to open its mouth and have its wings.
It appears to need verbal components.
It needs verbal components, not it can't just.
It does like a flap.
Okay. So, yes, she's going to take some twine and wrap it around its wings to make sure it can't, move its wings. And then she loosely wraps it around his bill so that he can still talk, but not
Loosely?
enough.
Twine?
What?
Why not metal chain? Make it
Yeah.
like as tight as possible.
Be cruel.
All right, fine. if you give her the look, she's like, oh, for crying out.
I mean, you could use something like magic rope or something.
Yes, she will use giant. No, what is it? Giant hair or the,
Giant hair?
or the spider silk, whichever one's the stronger one.
Yeah.
Giant hair is stronger than spider silk.
Okay, so she would use giant hair rope.
Okay. So the duck is like clearly like dizzy, is out of it, drunk. And you guys, Prongor is going to like, it's very heavy, master, he says as he picks up the homunculus.
Oh.
He like
Every time I think
slings
you're talking
the
about
fat Lord Duckingham over his shoulder.
Okay.
And then is like gonna.
Thaylor helps him support the other side.
Oh no, I've got it, master. He says as Phalor like reaches his hands out towards him.
If you're sure. Picturing two bony hands just like...
Yeah. The goose just starts lifting up on its own next to her as June just does this.
June, lead the way.
What's near here that we could go to that would be relatively private?
Could we grab a room in the Citadel?
That's what I was
You know what? Fine.
All right. You guys have the homunculus sort of thrown
June
face
does a double
down.
take when she notices Leslie is with you. And then turns back.
So Leslie did leave them right before she reached the Citadel.
Oh.
You didn't state that.
We just assumed she was with us. We've been asked about it earlier.
I guess she was just escorting them there.
If you guys would like her to be here.
I want her to be.
Also, they hadn't gotten to the Citadel yet when they got there. You said it was the streets before leading up to it, so she wouldn't have left yet.
She was very concerned about
if
it.
you wanted her here, she would be here.
Okay.
All right.
I'm excited for Leslie to be here. About damn time.
Hello, everyone. Leslie says, I'm Leslie Lightwarden.
Have we met Leslie before in person?
No.
Okay.
She says, must be Roland's friends. Isaac, she says.
It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
She
Roland
nods.
wouldn't shut up about you.
And you are most certainly Juniper.
Indeed. Pleasure.
Usually carry gold bars around in your purse.
Well, I have a little bit of everything.
She says,
One must be prepared, of course.
so, I guess now that you're here, I should be heading out.
You sure you don't want to hear about the duck? I mean, how many times do you come across a dangerous duck?
So this is the infamous duck, huh? She says, looking. Why did Mary and Carrie know this duck?
Mary and Carrie know the duck?
Apparently he plays cards at
The goat head.
the Goat Head.
I don't know that.
The mercenaries ruthlessly attacked us in the street, Molly says.
Beg pardon?
Yeah, Roland's sisters apparently took a bounty on my head.
The one that was placed by the Isle of Bones?
And an additional one by Kilrock.
Don't worry, though, we kicked their ass, Molly says. She kind of like looks up to the sky.
Jude looks at both of you and just goes, uh-huh. Anyway,
I never knew it was so dangerous to walk on the streets of Garen.
It's really not supposed to be.
By
Leslie
Isaac's
says.
standards, this is the most dangerous cities ever.
she goes, it normally isn't quite so dangerous, but considering what happened to you earlier, I had Hero ride back on a carriage in order to come back here.
Well, it is a place with many ne'er-do-wells, Prongor says.
Not usually.
In my experience.
Depends on where you're going, I guess.
I did have quite the easy time finding that crew back there.
I suppose that's fair.
Those don't count, Prongor says.
Anyway, yes, this, are we in a room yet? Or are we still
No.
walking?
Yeah.
She goes, this creature infiltrated the academy, and if he was able to get past the wards and the guards, and then actually succeed in teleporting out, I'm a little concerned.
Oh my gosh. I'm impressed, honestly. I need to write Miss Amberfont, she says.
Do you know Seraphina? Euphemia mentions. Apparently maybe she could help with the bounty issue some of us are facing.
Jude is just like, God damn it, I always have to take care of everything. And she goes,
June, help.
June goes, I do know Seraphina, yes.
I didn't know she had any connection to the Godmothers.
Just because I am a godmother and I have connections there doesn't mean I have no connection to the academy.
Right. She says, a little coy.
She goes, we all learn magic somewhere, don't we?
You trained at the Zartan?
Not necessarily.
That's all you'll get out of her. Trust me, we try.
She says, I think at this point in my life I'm used to the mysteries of Godmothers. She says. Anyway, so, here, this room, Leslie says. And she's going to like lead you guys specifically to like a meeting chamber. It's a little nicer than one you might have chosen yourselves. But as you walk in, Leslie's going to like touch some wards and mutter some words and summon some food from the kitchen, which just sort of miraculously appears on the table.
Isaac, your insight is high enough to note that June keeps giving odd looks at Leslie as she's there.
Okay.
You guys can drop the ropes. I've got him. Leslie says as she's gonna like put her hands forward and the lantern sort of glows and like golden chains are gonna sort of enrapture around the goose and like a little magic hand is gonna on his nose.
Those powers are so useful, Euphemia says.
What else can they do? Bali says. Well, if you hadn't eaten my mother's healing, or my mother's food, they might have healed you, she says.
So, this duck.
I was hoping you might be able to look into him. If you get my meaning.
I'll give it a try.
Look into him? Leslie's gonna ask.
Euphemia, are you, she's intuiting that you want her to put her hand in him, but did you want her to just look from a distance?
Either. Whatever you felt comfortable with. We have an extra person here, so she didn't know. That's why she was being vague.
So, the only way she gets much detail other than what's most important to someone is if she puts her hand, like,
Yes.
so she will do that, yeah. So she will go to slide her hand into the little duck.
Who's stuck?
You
Stuck.
place your hand and slide it into the drunken duck.
Do I need to
You
roll on?
gain a distinct taste of bourbon the moment that your hand enters the
You'll
duck.
see her kind of go as she's got her hand in there.
It's sort of swimmy when you put your hand in. Everything's kind of muddled. But you gain a long life story, like 100 years. It begins with an egg. Drake was hatched into a little group of ducklings that followed around a mom. But he was the only one who didn't follow, because he was the only one who was smart and could talk. He grew up like any other duck, except while everybody else was kind of diving with their little bottoms up and swimming about in the pond, he was creating magical formulas and calculations and figuring out how to trick and devise ways to gain what he considered were curious glimpses of other humanoids and people with more intelligence than his siblings and mother. He was fascinated by humanoids with their feet and their inability to stay dry in the water. So he began to prank picnickers at the Emerald Lake where he was born and perform all sorts of low-level magical tricks on the park rangers and like lovers who were like holding hands. And then he learned that he basically like cracked teleportation when he was like 3.
Genius duck.
No kidding.
And then began to travel the wide world using his powers. He has a distinct memory of like he wants to see, so like he's never allowed into places where people get naked, but he wants to see what they look like without their clothes on for research purposes. So he created a perverted homunculi, Figment, who he uses to see the anatomy of different humanoids for research purposes only. He has no interest in them, like sexually. And uses that guise, which then it gets slapped instead of him getting kicked. He travels the world and tries to uncover as much he can about the mysterious wizardly humanoids that he lives with, but has a soft place in his heart for his very dumb brothers and sisters and mother, who passed long ago and had their own eggs. So he's like the grandfather of like 600 ducks.
Like, great.
However, this duck, has very fond memories of the Emerald Lake, which he has not visited in many years and does not know about its current plight.
Anything else she gleans from him? Why he was different? Has he discovered anything
How
about
he
that?
got into the shadow realm.
Yeah.
So he's come up with, basically spent most of his career coming up with magic tricks to escape people and situations that are bad for him. So teleportation, pushing people like off of stuff, feather fall, like just flying away, jumping into the shadow realm and skating away. That's his most like dastardly, most recent modernist escape route.
How does he not get corrupted by being in the shadow realm?
He doesn't get corrupted because he only stays in there for a couple seconds. He basically whisks himself and then does like a fade, like a little teleport jump,
Like face
and
up?
then steps out.
Okay.
But he like loses people in there. So he has a tricksy sort of, I can't remember the word for it.
Meter? Repertoire?
No. Unrepentant personality. And
What does he want? Why does he want to research the humanoids so much? What's it matter?
Is it like curiosity?
he's similar to Juniper in that way. Like, he's like a very young Juniper.
Learning for learning's sake?
Yes.
Okay.
We could maybe work with that.
After telling me all
Definitely.
this, Isaac's like,
Yeah,
Totally.
Euphemia will convey all of this to
Isaac's just like totally declawed of any anger he had now.
Same. Now June is actually fascinated. She's like, you'd be a fantastic researcher.
Do we want to send him to the Emerald Lake with Annalise?
I don't trust him yet, but I would like to speak with him, yes.
So,
I think I can also help him with his quandaries.
with a powerful interrogation of a mighty duck up in front of us, we will go ahead and call the session there for the time being. Thank you for joining us so much, and do try this at home.